not.
I'm never gonna use it.
Okay.
That's why I'm playing.
When I'm committed, I'm fucking committed. It's not the point what option select is. What I'm saying is I do not like them because I think when you hit that first button, you've hit that first button.
What's the first button?
Well, the first one you
punch.
hit. Yeah. What I'm saying is, so when you've hit that, what I think. Not saying this is.
Okay.
I'm not saying this is how fighting games work.
Yeah,
what
no.
I'm saying is, when you hit that first button, I think you should be committed to that first button.
You have, yes.
Well, you're not, because what you're saying is you've got an option.
But what if I press punch and then I press kick when that kick was not applicable?
Because you've pressed that punch, what I'm saying is because you've pressed that punch should come out no matter what.
That punch is coming out no matter what.
Well, it's not, because you.
No, that's the first punch that's coming out no matter what.
That's not necessarily coming out based on the other.
No, okay. So you're saying I should do that and all 6 should come out in that order?
No, what I'm saying is if you hit that button in the top right, whatever the fuck you press after that does not fucking matter.
Recovery is a thing in the game, yeah?
What I'm saying is whatever you press, I think you should be committed to it. If you go for a throw, you should be committed to a throw. If you press medium kick, you should be committed to do that medium kick.
You can recover from a medium kick quicker if it whips rather than when it hits.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm after. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But you're right in the long term, but yeah, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong in anything. Whatever you do, you should be committed to.
Okay. You know what?
How is that wrong?
You know when you whiff. Okay. When you whiff.
I'm not saying you can't recover from that fucking move. I'm not saying that move has to go the full fucking thing.
No.
But that button that you press should be the button that comes.
Do you know when you mess up your string and it doesn't combo, or you press a button and it didn't come out because you pressed it too early? That is the essence of option select. In like punch into sweep or punch into like kick instance. That is the essence of option select.
Try to do the target combo.
Do you understand how? Okay. Do you know when you do your combo of like light punch, light kick, or light kick, light punch, medium punch, and the medium punch doesn't come out because you did it too early? Yeah? You press light punch to medium punch, and the medium punch didn't come out because it came out. You press it too early. Option select is like you're training yourself to press a series of inputs where if that light punch connected, the game slows down by like 4 frames because the block. Therefore, if you timed it correctly, that medium punch would come out. If you whiffed it, it wouldn't. Option select is saying if it hits or miss, I've pressed the button inputs to allow for both of them. I legitimately can't do one of the inputs because the game system says I can't do it, I'm still in recovery. You can't just go, I press heavy punch, I've dedicated to heavy punch. Fair enough. You can't then go, I pressed heavy kick, I'm dedicated to the heavy kick. I can't, I'm still in recovery of the heavy punch. Do you get what I'm saying? Ah. I can show you right here.
Yeah, go over there.
Sit here. Sit here.
Crouch Tekken, right?
Tekken is completely different. You know why?
No, Crouch
You
Tekken
can
is
no
an
no
option select.
no Tekken.
Crouch Tekken is an option
No,
select.
in this instance, Tekken is completely different because you can press your buttons in too quick or too slow and they'll still come out in the string. That does not work in the same instance for this.
Crouch Tekken is an option select as in it takes 2 fucking things into account and it decides which one.
Based on whether or not something whiffs or not, that's somewhat true based on whether you can or can't do a move.
I think my point is, right, if you go to Crouch Tekken something, right, I think that it shouldn't be an option because
it should be a kick or a grab or a counter.
yes.
I know, I agree with that. I agree with that.
So it's the whole thing.
But the entire thing is not the same as that.
But that's what I think everything should be. So if somebody goes to throw you and you crouch tech, I think what you should be doing is if you're going to take a throw, you're going to front carry that throw. If not, if you're...
No, I agree with the grab
Right, well,
side.
that's
But-
what I'm saying for the whole fucking thing.
It doesn't work for the whole thing. It's not all
But it
the
might
same
be
thing.
different, it might be different fucking whatever, but what I'm saying is...
It might be technically different. but
Yeah,
it's the same.
technically different, but the same idea behind it.
It's not exactly, because the entire point of the crouch tech is it's
It's cutting down two options with one option.
the entire point of crouch tech is it's a kick and a punch used to do a grab as opposed to a single button. If they had a completely separate button to do grab, which wasn't any kicks or punches, it was like its own separate button, it would not be a thing. It's only because it uses kicks and punches that it's a thing.
It doesn't matter what button, like take buttons out of the equation.
Okay.
I do not care what buttons you are fucking pressing,
Okay.
right? You are, with crouch taking, you are choosing two options. And what I think is, if you're not taking that throw, you're not fucking taking that.
No, as I said, I will agree with you on this, but this is based on to
Yeah,
use
so
grab
if
as
he's
that.
not backdashing, he's not fucking backdashing, that always not fucking coming.
What?
Well, because you can obviously select the group, you select the crouch medium and option slide over, right? So now medium punch, if you backdash it still it comes out.
Yeah.
What I think is if you put in that ultra, the fucking ultra's coming out, whether he's backdashing or not.
But what if you press the button, which means that you can't legitimately put the ultra out?
Well then that ultra should not come out because you just pressed that button.
Well, okay, but the point is that the circumstance in which it can or can't come out is dependent on whether or not you hit the enemy or not.
But you're still doing that medium punch. Either way.
Yeah, okay, you're doing a medium punch. Yeah, that hits. Your ultra's not coming out, friends. I don't know which way
If that
that is.
hits or does not hit, either way that medium punch is coming out.
That
so
medium
if
punch
you're
is
not-
coming out, yes.
Yeah, so I think you should still have to wait for that to recover to then input the next thing.
But no, you're still waiting the legitimate amount of time for your ultra to come out. It's just based on whether or not you've hit them or not to make the game slow down to allow that button to come out or not.
Yeah, there should be where if the move is still in animation, you should be able to input should do it.
Yeah.
So
The
you
input
shouldn't be
should
able.
not do anything.
So you shouldn't be
because-
able to buffer moves in the game. Is that what you're saying? That's basically what it is. You're buffering moves.
Because buffering is to do with motion.
Yeah, buffering to then you decide to do the thing, right?
And then you press the okay, not the
Yeah,
not the
buffering's
stick,
like,
the button.
Then you go, right, wait, that's hit. That's why hit confirm it, surely. Right?
Okay, so you press medium punch. So you press medium punch, and it, okay, let's do some numbers for this. You press medium punch, light punch. It comes out in 4 frames. It starts and finishes in 4 frames. You can then do another button in 4 frames. Okay.
Right.
If it hits them, it takes 8 frames. Okay. Do you understand that?
Right.
So if I press light punch, that takes 4 frames, and I press light kick, which comes out in 4 frames. Oh, it comes out straight after. I can go light punch, light kick. Yeah?
8 frames.
Yeah. But if I press light punch 4 frames, and it hit them, it takes 8 frames to recover now because the game slows down. But I press light kick after 4 frames. It can't come out because I've hit them. Yeah?
Well, no, you're talking like
That's-
that's combos and shit. That's
No.
breaks and
But the entire point of the option select is you are doing you can then do inputs based on your timing of whether or not the game has slowed down or not from a hit to choose to do either a light kick or a medium punch afterwards. You're using the slowdown of hitting someone to change whether or not an input will come out afterwards.
What do you think about buttons?
I tell you.
I know, but what are the buttons?
They're too small. The Sanwa buttons.
No, they're like
Giant,
gamer fingers.
giant buttons.
Funny, right?
Oh, who's still down with the stick?
Probably one of these.
There's one of these fuckers. Him. It was him, because he was already on.
I don't know, maybe.
I just think we disagree on what should happen and what should not happen.
No, I'm saying it's part of the concept of the game. And I don't think you understand that.
Yeah, and he's just saying it shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's it. I'm saying that's the part of the game I dislike.
You can dislike it, but it's part of the game, and you can't unless you
He's
do.
not saying
I've
they
never
should-
said it's not
he's
part
not
of the
saying-
game.
He's not saying they should patch it for a movie.
No, no.
Yeah, I said that's the part I do not like.
I'm not saying I'm not arguing the opinion of that. I'm saying fair enough, but
It's like if I chain a combo and do punch, that, right? I think that should happen because I've done it.
if you timed it wrong,
Well, if I timed it wrong, it should stop coming out.
it should still come out if you timed it wrong.
Yeah, because I've done it.
What if you press it too early?
Because I'm an idiot. So
Oh no, if you press it too early, it doesn't come out.
Yeah, exactly. That's your fault.
Yeah, that's my fault. Because
But-
it went,
Option selecting is using the concept of pressing things too early and too late into tech. That's what it is.
But like, I think Leon's punch, and kick combo should come out if I pressed it or not.
But if you press it too early, and therefore one of the punches doesn't come out.
Right?
If you press it too early, one of
Well,
the
if I
punches
press
doesn't
it
come out.
too early, it's because I'm a fucking idiot and I'm going like that.
But it's using that to your advantage.
But,
That's what option selecting is.
but that's the part I disagree with.
What that people have used the game's mechanics to its advantage.
It's an abuse of the game.
So no, it's winning, and that's what you should do. It's like saying cornering someone is a piece of game.
So you're saying you would prefer to have it like Tekken, where if you press the button too early, it still comes out, because that is what you would have to do to not have option select like that in the game.
Too early.
You could have it where
You know when you press a button too early, and it's like you were trying to do light punch, light kick, medium kick into a move, but you do light punch, light kick, the medium kick doesn't come out because you press it too early, and then you do your move. So you miss an entire button input because you press it too early.
Because you fucked up.
But that's, if you have that and you fuck up, that allows option selects to be a thing. It does.
Not if you make it so. Not if you make it so it can't be a thing.
No, it is literally, this is fundamentally a Tekken or Street Fighter mechanic. In Tekken, if you press a button too early, it will still come out in the string. Because there is no such thing as too early in Tekken. It will queue up your commands, so you cannot option select. You press this button and put, that's coming out.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
think.
Tekken. That means you can't press buttons too early.
Right, well,
Because
I
it queues
think,
buttons
I think
up.
Tekken is more sensible than Street Fighter.
Oh, okay.
Fuck off. It's the worst fucking piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I think.
No, okay,
But-
fair enough, but the fundamental mechanics
I'm
of this
saying
game
that's
does not
why-
allow that.
But that's why I do not like this game, because stuff like that happens.
Okay, so basically,
Why don't you play Tekken?
you don't like button accuracy.
No, he lies about it.
Well, no, button that if you this entire thing is about button accuracy. Tekken has 0 button accuracy. You can mash and still get your combos out.
Yeah,
You
but
can press that kick button 3 times
could make
at
it-
any speed, and it will
Yeah,
come
but you
out.
could make it so that it
You
wouldn't.
could make it as only one frame.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen in Virtua Fighter.
Hmm?
That Tekken stuff does not happen in Virtua Fighter.
What do you mean?
Why so Virtua Fighter? If you hit that button 3 times, it will not come out.
What do you mean?
Well, you just said in Tekken you can go and it'll come out.
If that's a string, it'll come out as a string, because you press that kick 4 times. It's gonna queue
But
up
in
the 4
Virtua
kicks.
Fighter, if you hit that fucking kick 4 times, it will not come out at the time that it will not just come out when it's supposed to come out.
What do you mean?
You can't just go in Virtua Fighter and it'll just come out. It'll come out when it's supposed to come out.
Yeah, it comes out when it's supposed to come out in Tekken as well. You can go like that, and it will do your string of 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can go. Or you can do it at any speed as long as it's not too
Yeah,
slow.
no, and Virtua Fighter, I can't just go. And a fucking certain move comes in. It has to still be like a kind of back. Those just like
No, you still
You can't just do it as quick as you possibly can.
well, you can do it as quick as the buffer will allow it to, which is pretty much a massive leeway because in Tekken it's not about button accuracy. It's about you press the button input, it's going to do that button input.
Well, yeah, I think when you've done that and you're committed to the timing of that move.